Ahí está. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Sorry, we are super late, but we are here. Join us in Miami TV. Hope you guys are having an amazing evening. And come and say hi. ¿Cómo están, amigos? Muy buenas noches. Bienvenidos nuevamente a otro Jenny Live. Estamos en vivo y en directo. Espero de que estén de maravilla. Muy bien. Bienvenidos. Let me know what you guys want to talk about tonight. We are an open book, and you're able to interact with us live and chat with us and give us topics or questions or whatever you want us to chat about. Welcome, members. It always does until streaming. Yes. We are live. Oh, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake yesterday. I said that we were going to be live with Brandon, but it's actually on Thursday. I totally forgot. I tell you that I don't know what date of the week I'm in, and that's legit, okay? So tomorrow, we will be talking about all of what I mentioned yesterday. So it's basically all of these swirls of energy that are happening and have been happening, but in a more scientific level, which is interesting. At least I find it interesting. So if you like my topics, then great. Okay, guys, sí, es normal. Jenny Live on YouTube. Yes, we are only on YouTube tonight, you guys. Hoy estamos solamente en YouTube, para que sepan. También igual tenemos el chat de los miembros abiertos. Vamos a abrir el chat de YouTube y Facebook, así los leo y comenzamos con los temas. Hi, Jenny. A basic assumption of human behavior is that people pursue pleasure and seek to avoid pain. That would be the normal thing to do, right? Hello. Hi, Neutral. Hi, Jose. Welcome. Why is it then that some people seem content to wallow in their misery, even boasting about it as some sort of badge of honor? Even when given steps to improve their lives, they seem to prefer to continue complaining. Is there a certain comfortable familiarity with being dissatisfied, maybe, that people become an obstacle to change? You mean like you become your own obstacle of change? Okay. After getting a glimpse of joy, why do some people immediately shift back to what doesn't work? Okay, guys, sorry, we're a little distracted here. I think that some people are, it can become a habit, I guess you could say, a habit of just having everything go wrong for you, that you get to the point where it's just, well, this never worked, so why would I try, why would I keep trying? Just like everything in life, right? I mean, you get disappointed maybe so many times in certain things that people just kind of lose faith or lose the strength to actually keep going, right? It could be that, why do they boost about it, some sort of badge of honor? People actually complaining to others about the stuff that's going wrong with them. Victimizing yourself. I think people like to victimize themselves and just, being the victim sometimes just means that you don't have to take responsibilities for your actions. So if you don't have to take responsibilities for your actions, that would mean that everything is okay. Bueno, chicos, estamos por primera vez aquí con nuestro productor nuevo, así que vamos a estar cambiando y por ahí va a demorar un poquito. Se me olvidan, yo les aviso para que sepan, es la primera vez que lo está haciendo solo, así que le está yendo muy bien. ¿Cómo estamos, hermosa Jenny? Hola, José, bienvenidos amigos. Porque hay gente que siempre siendo negativo, pues continúa y habla del ser negativo como si fuera algo tan bueno, ¿no? Creo que a la gente le gusta victimizarse. El ser víctima significa de que no tienes que tomar responsabilidades por tus propias acciones. Entonces, de hecho, me acuerdo de algo que acaba de pasar. Actually, speaking of this actually just happened to somebody that I know. When these people that literally just blame others for whatever's happening to them, I think that's one of those little laws of failure in life, because if you think about it, if you don't take responsibility for your actions, it's nobody's fault, right, that you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. So if you just decide to keep saying, because you did this, because it's your fault that I'm in this situation, it's your fault that I made these choices, it's your fault, and never really looking in the mirror and saying, wait a minute, but why did I allow that person, to maybe pursue me, to indulge me into the idea of doing something that I knew wasn't sure, right? Or why did I allow myself to fall into that lie? Because at the end of the day, nobody's putting a gun to your head and saying, you must do this. Nobody's forcing you to do something. So you need to definitely take responsibility for your actions. I think that is one of the main things of personal growth and that you need to keep in mind. Because if that is one of the things that you have as a characteristic of your personality, then it's always going to be that way. You're never going to get anywhere. You're always going to be stuck. And it's just, like I said, easier blaming others. It's easier to just say it's your fault that this happened. It's really that simple. Welcome, guys. Yes, if you're watching us on Miami TV, well, you're not watching us on Miami TV, so you're watching us on social media, guys. Juan, bienvenidos, ¿cómo estamos? Hola, Jenny. ¿Has oído hablar de la raza Humitas? Sí, es ET, ¿no? Bueno, me imagino, no sé si en español es IT y latina T, interesante. Te adjunto un video donde ellos certifican la existencia de Jesús y que están digitalizando toda la evidencia que sea posible en Medio Oriente. Interesante. Están digitalizando, ok, eso sería importante, pero ¿en qué momento hay personas que piensan que Jesús no fue real? Jesús sí fue real, o sea, carne y hueso como todos nosotros, solo que con un don desarrollado muy, muy fuerte, que todos ustedes lo pueden tener. Pero qué interesante, sí, compárteme el video, me interesa. Hay mucha gente de que todavía está esperando el regreso de Jesús. Yo siempre digo de que creo que no va a venir igual que como estaba en aquella época. Creo que todo va de acuerdo a las épocas en que vivimos. Quizás sea un rock and rollero en esta época, no sé. O en la época de los robots va a ser un revolucionario, quién sabe. Pero sí, interesante. Jenny, do you believe in the Humitas? So the Humitas in Spanish, it's an alien species, and yes, I've heard about them. I have actually family members that are part of groups that communicate with them constantly, believe it or not. So you can, that's just a matter of if you want to believe in that or not. And yeah, they're one of the good ones. Like we always say, there's a lot of species. Okay, so it's just a matter of fallen into a good species, so you're not influenced negatively, right? But the Humitas are actually good. They're good and they're trying to help. So yeah. Now, he said that they're trying to digitalize everything, every kind of proof that there is of Jesus Christ to that's possible. And I find that really interesting. But at the same time, why would anybody else need proof of Jesus? I mean, doesn't everybody believe that Jesus existed at one point? I mean, it's legit, like he was an actual human being. Or are there people out there that don't believe he existed? We have all of the abilities that Jesus had is something that you have, I have, all of us have. It's just that for whatever reason, he was chosen to have these abilities awakened, or maybe he worked at them. You'll never know, right? But it's totally believable. So yeah, I don't know why anybody would try to make proof of it, but interesting. Dicen, la siguiente venida de Jesús no lo haría como lo hizo la primera vez. Esta vez llegará como un guerrero a confrontar al maligno. Interesante, sí, es verdad. Dicen tantas cosas, amigo. Pero yo sí creo de que hay imágenes. Cuando digo imágenes quiero decir personas, ¿no? O sea, no sé qué otra palabra ponerle, o sea, vamos a decirle guerreros de la luz que sí van a aparecer y sí los hay, quizás no tan conocidamente, pero hay mucha gente trabajando ante la oscuridad, trabajando en contra de la negatividad y las cosas que están sucediendo. Pero alguien así un ícono como lo que fue Jesús, creo que también la debilidad está en que los gobiernos pueden fabricar algo así hoy en día para que la gente siga. Entonces tengan mucho cuidado cuando esto suceda, cuando escuchen de alguien haciendo milagros, porque sí es muy posible, 100% verídico. Sin embargo, siempre escuchen qué es lo que vende la persona detrás de eso. O sea, porque la energía positiva de por sí no te vendería una religión. Nada más te digo eso. O sea, las religiones están para separarnos. Entonces, cuando suceda eso, que venga un ser de luz a ayudar a hacer cambios, a ayudar a la gente de una forma fuerte, pues no será con un mensaje de separación o de que si haces mal te irás al infierno, por ejemplo. Okay, sean inteligentes. It says, well, they say that when Jesus is going to be back, that he's going to be back as a warrior to fight the evil in the world. I think that there's a lot of speculation over this idea. Nobody really knows. But let me just say something so you can keep it in your mind. The day that a person is popularized, let's say, for creating miracles, which they're not miracles, they're just really strong channels of energy, and people create their own miracles, okay? Be very careful with what they're selling behind, because if there is a being of light that comes to make these huge changes, not these huge changes, but just changes to people that need help, the way to see that it's actually of light, okay, is that they're not selling you anything behind. So there isn't going to be a religion behind that image. Catholicism, Christianism, every single religion is made to control us, to separate us, to it's going to be a different message. That's all I'm saying. And not that these religions are bad, but it's just energy is energy, and a higher being or a higher channel of energy, if it's pure, it's not going to tell you if you do wrong, you're going to hell, for example. So free will is very, very highly respected when it comes to positive energy. So nobody that conditions you to things is really to be trusted. It doesn't mean that they're evil. It's just, just be careful. And another thing is that we are in an era that, unfortunately, these beings like Jesus can be created. Okay, let's just not forget Project Bluebeam. An alien invasion can be created. So if they want to all of a sudden, bring back Catholicism, they could just put Jesus on the cloud and or Mary, and you'll all be like, oh, let's become Catholic again. So I think we have to have an open mind. And I also think that there's a lot of people in this planet already that are light beings. All of us really are light beings. But I think that there's a lot of people that are awakening their power and potentials and energies so strong that are already creating miracles in people's lives and are already helping others, in huge levels. It's just that remember that anything that is grabbed by a religion or a political party to be promoted and exploited is probably not something or someone that you should want to follow. Because normally when people come out and when people are for real, no political party or country or religion will even want to push their publicity forward. Now, in today's age, people are the ones to push these people forward, right, because of social media. But if they want to censor you, they will censor you so you do not reach more people. It's really that simple. There is a control of propaganda. There is a control of who should be famous and who shouldn't. Okay, we're talking about like the exaggerated level of famous, right? You can have people that are known in their country or in their towns, or today with the internet, you could be known in many places. But we're talking about like the amount of fame that you're next to the Pope, for example. So I always doubt of someone that has some kind of party backing them up, in my opinion. So yeah, just leaving you with that little note. Siempre tengan cuidado también cuando de repente una religión o un partido político empieza a promocionar a alguien de repente y es como que fulano, y lo ves en todas las noticias, fulana de tal o fulano de tal hace milagros. O sea, nadie va a tener publicidad gratis. A ver si me entienden. Entonces, sí, solamente hay que tener cuidado en lo que realmente se cree. Boa noite, mis amigos brasileños. Buenas noches. Good night, guys. How are you? Welcome, Jim, James, Daniel. What's up? Welcome. Thanks. My shirt. You want to see my shirt? Guys, I have like 5 shirts that I always wear for Journey Lives. So it's nothing new. I like to call these my uniforms. We have uniforms for Journey Live. Okay, next topic. Jenny, what do you think of this? We don't fall in love with a body, we fall in love with a soul. And once in love with a soul, everything about that person becomes beautiful. If a man loves a woman's soul, he will spend a lifetime loving that woman. But if a man loves only a woman's face and body, all the women in the world will not satisfy him. Absolutely, 1,000%. It's really crazy how throughout the years, and I'm saying this from experience also, because for example, when I got together with my husband, this was what, like 16 years ago. At the beginning, it wasn't like love at first sight or anything, because we have a really different, what do you call it, like attraction level. Like we are totally opposites of what we would look for in a physical body. But we got so close as friends and so comfortable. We would talk for so many hours that it just kind of started building up. And I can say today, so many years later, every day he becomes more and more attractive to me. And it's actually because of that. It's because you do get to know the soul even more. You get to grow together. You get to experience life in different points of views and appreciate each other's points of views, particularly. And you discover who the person really is, because I think that we don't really know who we are when you meet that significant other. You know, you're both in this journey of life, right? You're both trying to find each other, or you're trying to find yourself. And when you find someone that's compatible enough, it's like, okay, we click, let's do this challenge, because life is a challenge. Let's do this challenge together. And see how much we learn from it and how much better we can get at this game of life, because it's a challenge in a game, right? So yeah, it's totally 100% real. You know, the more you get to know the person, the more time you spend with them, the more in love you should be with the person that you're with. It shouldn't be the opposite. And if it's the opposite and you're going through this where you're saying, oh, the love is just fading away, you're probably not. You know, maybe you started in the wrong foot, where you were looking at the exterior more than the interior, and you made that a priority. I mean, come on, let's be real. We're not going to be young forever, although I keep saying that technology is definitely going to give us more years of life. But how boring to be in a relationship that is just shallow, that you have nothing to talk about, that you really don't, you don't appreciate each other's company. I think it's all about having good company. And by all means, little by little, every day, you should be more and more in love with the person that you chose to marry or you chose to be with. I mean, marriage is overrated. It's just a paper, you know. But yeah, this is absolutely true. And I think that you grow in love for the person because your energy just starts shining more and more the older you get, because we're then again closer to the light, right? We come from the light. We spend our life in this planet learning mundane things and hopefully using the experiences for our personal energetical and spiritual growth. And eventually, well, where do we go? We go back to the light. So it's like we're pure. We get impure through life, right? And then we get pure again, because you learn, you become smarter, you become wiser, you stop making mistakes. If you made mistakes, you fix them. You get rid of your baggage, right? Or your backpacks with karma. And I think the most important thing is that it's not too late. That when you do get to that point in your life where you realize that maybe you've generated too much negativity and you need to start doing things right, hopefully that's going to be at an early age. Because in a perfect world, we would never have to be to get negative. We would just go through life pure as when we were babies. When you come from light, you're pure, right? And imagine maintaining yourself that pure until the day you die. I mean, that means that right there is 100% a perfect life, which of course we know that doesn't really exist, okay? Because this planet is we're here particularly to learn things that have to do with negativity. So it's just a matter of, well, how fast do you realize that this negativity is taken over? How fast do you realize that you need to get things right so you can purify yourself again? And that's really the game of life, is getting our energy as pure as possible, getting our energy aligned. And instead of focusing so much on mundane things, instead of focusing so much on things that are physical, I think that if we focused more on our personal level of energy and our personal growth and our spiritual growth, then everything else, it's kind of like you win the game of life. When do you actually win it? When you center yourself, and when anything and anyone that happens around you that is negative doesn't faze you. So you have the answers to everything. I think that is winning the game of life, is saying, I am 100% pure, I am 100% open to receive any kind of information that needs to pass through me. You're just in a vessel, you guys. That's all this physical body is. It's just a vessel. And you use it, kind of like the butterflies. You use it and then you get out of it and you spread your wings. And then, well, you go back to the light. Jenny, very beautiful. Hi, Michelle. I love your soul, Jenny. It's your most beautiful future. Thank you. God is interested in fanatics, fundamentalists, and also people that believe in God. That means that they believe in His word, because even the devil thinks en el más, no en su palabra. Because even the devil believes in the more and not in his word. I don't think I understood that, but thank you for your message. I don't want this to become like a religion, like a religious talk, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Where are you? What time is it where you are? Love you. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Perdón, corrijo. Dios no le interesan los fanáticos. Ya iba a decir como que, okay, ahora entendí. So God isn't interested in fanatics. Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, we have a lot of people that don't believe in God, so we try not to put a word into it. I call it energy. I think everybody believes in an energy and just has a word for it. But at the end of the day, it's just where we come from and where we're going to. That's all it is. So do we fall in love with the soul rather and not the body? Sometimes I think about this. I think, I don't know if this is real or not, but I've thought that, could it be that the most beautiful physical people in the world, and this is, I think it's BS, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Could it be in some cases that the most beautiful people in the world are actually the more negative? Because they attract all these things they attract a lot more temptation than others, right? And I've met a lot more ugly people inside that are beautiful than ugly people outside that are beautiful. Wait, ugly people are outside that are evil or that are bad, if that makes any sense at all. But not that it's like a thing. It's like, okay, you're pretty, right? So you must be bad. No, everybody's pure, everybody's positive, right? We're all born as positive babies, as pure babies. But I think the beautiful people, right, have more opportunities to mess up. So if anything, people say, well, life is easier when you're pretty. True. We can't lie. It is true. But at the same time, you also have an excessive amount of opportunities that are more of temptation. So I don't know. Sometimes, envying the ugly people is also a thing, believe it or not, of saying, well, if you didn't mess up, if you didn't, attract the wrong person, then that wouldn't have happened and you would still be positive. So if you're ugly, it's like, well, you're just going to attract the person that is right for you and the person that really, really just wants to be with you because they fall in love with your soul. So could it be that maybe being ugly is a virtue? I don't know, because you're only going to attract things that are real. And I think the mind is probably the most attractive thing that we own. Not everybody thinks that way, of course, but you could be paralyzed in a wheelchair, and after being so beautiful and being an athlete and stuff. And at the end of the day, your mind is all you have. Is that the opinions, to be able to have a conversation with someone, right, and just let the hours go by, and you notice that, wow, I thought, it almost seems like it's been 5 minutes, but it's been forever, and we've been talking forever. So if anything, our soul feeds out of the information that we get. Our soul feeds out of the wisdom of the other person and the wisdom that the other person brings out of you. I don't know. So don't be feeling bad if you think of yourself as an ugly person. Because I think, never generalize, of course, but I think that if anything, you're lucky in a sense that when the right person comes, when somebody is attracted to you, they're attracted to you for who you are. I hope we have a blog. Yes, we do have a blog. This life is all the shades from extreme positive to extreme negative, and we have the ability to improve or degrade. After this life, it is pure positive or pure negative. Yeah, I like that. The one. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna share this with you. For example, there's more amount of people in the world that are beautiful, that have negative energy, than the amount of people in the world that are ugly that have negative energy. I'm sorry, I said it. And it's because of promiscuity. When people are very good looking, women or men, especially men, not especially men, women and men, both, they're very promiscuous. And promiscuity is the #1 generator of negativity in the world. And it's the cause of why the planet is the way that it is and why it's so dark. So think twice when you look at someone in the street and you say, "Whoa, what a beautiful woman! What a beautiful man!" That is that is someone that I would like to be with, because this is just something that's gonna eventually fade away, and they could be very toxic. I have found so many toxic people that are very good looking. In fact, even in here, we have an Energy Tulum, our Tantra sessions and our retreat center with positive energy and stuff. And yeah, I've treated more beautiful people than I have ugly people, I have to say. And it's because when people don't know about sexual energy and they act upon it, they'll just say, the first thing that they'll say is, but I have so many options. Women just basically throw themselves at me. So how am I going to say no to that? So there's always, it's the way that you look at things, right? Like you have a person in the corner saying, "I'm the ugly duckling, poor me. I'm never going to have a girlfriend. I'm never going to have the job that I want, because they're always going to give it to the good-looking guy or the good-looking girl." But that's absolutely not true whatsoever. Like, you're going to get that job because you earned it. You're going to get that job because you're smart enough to get that job. And you're going to have more time, actually, to focus on your studies, let's say, or focus on what you want to go ahead and accomplish in your life without the distraction of sex. So I know that, when you're going through, let's say, high school and college, it's a big deal. But when you get older, you notice that, man, that little geek that you saw in the corner right now is like maybe the owner of Facebook or something like that. So yeah, It's good. It's good to be a geek. It's good to be a nerd. It's the future generations of positive people. And the popular gangs in high school normally or in college are the ones that end up, they can be successful in something, but the negativity that they generated in those years is so strong that they're not going to be successful in their marriage. They're going to have a couple of divorces. They're going to maybe switch jobs a couple of times. But yeah, at the end of the day, it really all comes up to, well, how much did you mess up? And how pure is your channel, Many people are focused because they believe that physical beauty would correspond to a beautiful soul, and that rarely happens. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's the total opposite. I think in today's age, you see somebody beautiful, you run the other way. I'm not kidding. Like, that's just the way it is. Although there is a change happening because there's more information coming out about what we're talking about, sexual energy and all that. But for the most part, that's how it goes. Beautiful people equals toxic energy. I'm sorry, this is just the reality. And don't generalize, okay? I'm just saying 50%, or let's say 70% of beautiful people, toxic. It's very hard to find someone that's beautiful on the outside and beautiful in the inside. And also, here's the thing, that's also not real. That's not true, because beautiful on the outside for what's been posted as something beautiful. We have been sold, right, throughout our social propaganda, basically, and whatever magazines want to sell to us that's popular or beautiful or hot or whatever, and what a family is supposed to look like. We've been sold the image of what's beautiful. You have to have, this crazy body and light eyes and blonde hair, or, perfect teeth, or I don't know. Models. Come on, when you see models, that is what beautiful is supposed to be. And no, you know what? They should come up with this camera. Now I'm just talking nonsense, but that's fine. They should come up with a camera that actually takes a picture of souls, of energies. Well, wouldn't it be like the Kirkland? But that's not a camera. That's like a machine. They should come up with a small little Kirkland camera machine, where when you take the picture of the person, you actually see the colors of their aura or the colors of their energy. That would be the definition of beauty, my friends. And do any of you know what color positive energy is, by the way? I'm just gonna let you answer in your mind, because we always have a little bit of a delay. It's not white, and I know most people would think it's white because, it's pure, right? White energy. No, it's actually like emerald, like a really light, transparent, kind of greenish, bluish, very, very, almost like the waters in Fiji, but very, very light, getting towards a white. Yeah, that's the color of purity. And it doesn't relate to the colors of the aura, right? Where they say, oh, you have a gold aura or a purple aura. That's something totally different. We're just talking about positivity. And when it's negative, do you know what color your body radiates when there's negativity? And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say black, right? Like the yin and yang, white and black. Nope, it's red. So when there's a transmutation of colors inside, like let's say you're going through a cleansing, which is what I do, and you're working to remove that negative energy, you can visualize it as something dark, black, right? But when negative energy and positive energy are fighting, it's a red color against a turquoise color, and then in between you have all sorts of different kind of changes of colors until one wins. It's really interesting. También el fenómeno a los 7 soles que se proyectan en China la semana pasada. Mándame todo, me encanta todo eso. Anything could be a blessing or a curse. Money means generosity or greed. Poverty means content or outrage. Beauty means a good company or arrogance. It's all about own soul. You're going to hear from a lot of millionaires. I mean, how many millionaires have to dress down, right? And make sure that they look like a homeless person to be able to just go to the supermarket or go to eat out for dinner or wear wigs. So a lot of people, I mean, there's people that love fame, right? But there's others that after a while, I mean, how long could you live with that? I've never wanted fame. It's something that, oh, I just think it's so annoying. And I meet girls all the time that the first thing they say is, I want to be famous. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, I want to be famous. That's all I want. It's my dream in my life is I want to be famous. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, I mean, some people love it. Some people love the attention, fine. But the thing is that once you live in that attention for long enough, that doesn't make you happy. You know, it's not something, unless you're very egotistical, and that's not something that goes together with positive energy. Positive energy goes together with humbleness, okay? But for the most part, people will think they want to be millionaires and they want to be famous. But the reality is that all you need is to be comfortable so that you can have what you need. You can not be stressed about money, but be able to be free enough to go wherever the heck you want and do whatever the heck you want without people bothering you. Can you imagine being messy? I mean, I honestly feel sorry for famous people sometimes because they can't go anywhere. They want to go to the beach, like a regular beach, and you're going to say, oh, but they go to more beautiful beaches. Still, sometimes you just need that social life with people that are just normal, right? Or just going to a supermarket. I mean, it could be a curse. It could definitely be a curse. And the number one thing that they'll tell you is that they don't really know if the people that they attract are there for their money or because they care for them. Most people that are millionaires or have that amount of money very much well know that every person that's around them is only around them because they have money. So when you see all these yacht parties and people, in the yacht filled with people, at the end of the night, that person has to either pay someone. It's like they're paying for their friends, basically. So it probably feels really cool at the moment of being in a party because you're in the hype, but it is probably one of the most loneliest feelings in the world. And not knowing if the woman that you're meeting or the man that you're meeting is falling in love with you for the right reasons or falling in love with you because they're just trying to be maintained by you. So it's a really big burden, you guys, and it's not something. If anything, it's something that will make you depressed. It's not something that will make you happy. So yes, money makes, like we were talking about yesterday, money makes life a lot more relaxed, of course, and you get to buy all the pleasures that you want. But at the end of the day, what is really valuable is that the people that are around you, the people that you love, are there for real, are there in the good and the bad. And you can only tell how many people in the world, oh my God, have seen this, where they've gone broke, nobody ever answered the phone for them again. And they got back up, but with that really harsh lesson of noticing that you can't go around doing favors, you can't go around, trusting anybody, because unless they were there when you were poor, very difficult for them to be there when you're rich and then you're poor again, because people don't socialize. You're in that category of lifestyle of money. You don't want to socialize with somebody that's broke. It's really that simple. And it becomes kind of like a mentality, right? And I think it also probably becomes a sense of heightened energy vibration for some, where that a person that is in a negative situation is in a negative situation for a reason. So you don't want to even associate yourself with people that are going through negative situations, because it's also going to pull your energy. So let's not judge, at the same time also those people that do decide to kind of put you on the side. But at the same time, when you're a friend, right? You should be there. Yeah, that's just life. Celebrity is a curse. I mean, maybe. I guess we'll just have to ask a bunch of celebrities, like, do you like being a celebrity? And or do you miss going to the supermarket? Do you, would you just like to go to movies, to the movies one day? There's something that I love about what I do is that every time I do a club show, I'm like this little celebrity in the club, right? The moment that I'm doing the show, but I'm naked. So it's happened to me so many times that if people see me naked somewhere, right, they'll immediately know it's me. Or with the mini skirt in my outfit, they'll immediately know it's me. But during the day, I dress very, very much down if I go outside, so nobody knows who it is. And that for me is like wearing a mask. It's like my nakedness is wearing a mask. I love it. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for hanging out with us just another night. And don't forget to tune into MiamiTV.com. We have a positive energy seminar coming up for you guys now. To be a wealthy person and to have fame are the main goals of lots of young people today. Yeah, it's like their drive, like that is my end goal. That is my end goal. That is my end goal. And it should just be my drive should be heighten my energy, right? Becoming wiser as we speak, attracting the right person, attracting the right job. So it's not a job, it's a pleasure, right? And just being happy and doing what you love. That's it. And getting to your maximum potential. Fame and money don't necessarily have to do with your maximum potential. They'll get to you once you get to your maximum potential. But you're not going to get to that heightened energy level by chasing fame and money. Because, well, spirituality isn't about fame and money. It's about your energy. So focus on that. Love you guys. Good night. See you tomorrow. And tomorrow we will be with Brandon Wells. We're going to be talking about energy in a scientific way and what's happening today that you are actually absorbing and it's affecting you in your everyday life. We have been mentioning this, but I love when we put some science behind it. So stay tuned and it will be all in English. All right. See you tomorrow and good night.